What is going on, guys? My name is Russian, and today I want to bring you guys my top 5 favorite guns in Call of Duty Zombies history. Starting off the list at number 5 is the Commando. Now, I'm not really sure why I like the Commando so much. It's not the fastest shooting gun, it's not the strongest gun, it's not the coolest looking gun, but for some reason, I've always just had a lot of nostalgia towards it. Maybe that's because when I played Black Ops 1 a lot and I didn't really like the ray gun because I would always die using it, I always went for the Commando because most of the time it was, okay, we had bad shotguns back in Black Ops 1, the bad LMGs, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, we had assault rifles and SMGs. The SMGs didn't do much damage, so I said, you know what? What's a light assault rifle that was actually somewhat alright? And I went with the Commando. And with me playing so much Black Ops 1 over the years, I've just grown to love the thing. Up next, coming in at number 4 on our list, is the Scavenger, and yes, this is the only wonder weapon on my list. Now, I want you to imagine a sniper rifle, and then you take that sniper rifle and you put explosive bullets in the thing, and then you add PhD flopper to it, and you get one of the most badass wonder weapons of all time. Like, seriously, the idea of the Scavenger is one of the coolest things to me, hands down, ever put in a Call of Duty game, and then you add that on to Call of the Dead, and yeah, I know it's not as strong as, let's say, the Thunder Gun, or the Slickifire, or the Wonderwaff, but for some reason, I have a lot of love towards the Scavenger. It's probably because it just melts George, to be quite honest with you. It's not as good as a Dragunov against him, but it still absolutely melts George, and until about round 40, this thing is still absolutely amazing. And then you take into account how cool the damn thing looks. You got a thermal scope on an explosive sniper, and when it's pack-a-punched, especially with the lighting on Call of the Dead, thing looks badass, alright? It looks like it could kill you from about 10 miles away, and then yeah, the fact that it is a sniper that obviously makes it be able to do that. Imagine sniping something from mule kick all the way to the top of the lighthouse with an explosive sniper. That is one of the coolest things that they could have ever done in Zombies, and they did it. Up next in at number 3 on our list is the Executioner. Okay, so I know this is a little bit of an interesting pick, but I love the Executioner. It is such an iconic gun in my eyes, especially with the guy being that I played so much Black Ops 2, and especially I played a lot of Transit, a lot of Die Rise, those sorts of maps when the Executioner was still a really, really good weapon. This thing had a ton of ammo for it being basically just a revolver, right? And it did a lot of damage. This thing was basically a one-shot headshot until round 40. Now that's absolutely incredible considering that, especially on Transit, we didn't really have that many good weapons. We had the ray gun, and then obviously the ray gun Mark II was added in later if you had buried, but other than that, we really didn't have very many good weapons, so the Executioner was absolutely incredible. And then you take into account its name, the Executioner. It's probably one of the best and most fitting names they've ever done for a weapon in Call of Duty Zombies. And then you add in the fact that it just sounds great. It has one of the best sounds of any gun ever put into Zombies. I know that after about round 25, you shoot multiple zombies with the Executioner and the game starts to lag, but that's because the game can't handle how incredible the gun is. And at number 2 on our list is the SCARH. This is another interesting pick considering it's only ever been on one Zombies map, but I love the SCARH. It was such an incredible gun in multiplayer. It's probably one of my favorite weapons ever in a multiplayer game. I absolutely love the thing. I had diamond on all the assault rifles on Black Ops 2 on multiple accounts. I just absolutely love the multiplayer on Black Ops 2, and the SCARH was one of my favorite guns. Then you put that into Zombies, and you make that a panzer melting, zombie melting, everything melting machine, and that has to be one of the coolest and best weapons ever put into Zombies. For starters, the thing has 330 bullets as soon as you get out of the box, and then you put that into the pack-a-punch machine, you get it back out, and it has a reticle on it, and then all of a sudden you give it 500 bullets. This thing is nuts. And all the way up until round 40, this thing destroys panzers. Like, seriously, you could just sit there and put about 25 bullets into a panzer's face with double tap. Doesn't really matter what round it's on, all the way up until about 40 or 45, and it just destroys him. Doesn't even, no hesitation whatsoever. He is done. Doesn't even have a chance to use his flamethrower, his claw, nothing. He's done. And it obviously helps out a little bit that Origins on Black Ops 2 is probably one of my favorite maps of all time. It probably helps it out just a little bit, and then that leads into the number 1 spot. So like I said, in at number 1 is the Scorpion Evo. So the Scorpion Evo falls under the most underrated and one of the best weapons ever in Zombies category at the exact same time. A lot of people didn't really actually use the Scorpion, and a lot of people weren't really high on it because of the fact that it just ran through ammo like crazy, but if you knew what you were doing and you could actually hit zombies in the head and you knew how to actually control your ammo, this thing was an absolute baller. Just like the SCARH before, this thing destroys panzers. As you can see, I got footage of me destroying a panzer multiple times with the Scorpion with about half a magazine in the 20s. Like, how does that even happen with an SMG? Yeah, I know it was pack-a-punch, and yeah, I know it had double tap, but most of the time on Origins you're gonna have that anyway, and it actually does basically the same job as the Mauser, but it does it in a lot cooler way. It sounds better, it looks better, and it was just an overall badass gun. I get this thing out of the box every single time and I keep it. I go, you know what, I can get a Mauser later from the dig sites, I don't really care, I'm gonna hold on to the Scorpion for a while. This thing was just straight up fun. And add on to it that this thing was a point machine. If you got it out of your first couple of box hits or by generator 2 or generator 3 and you didn't have the rest of the doors open, you would have a ton of points by round 7. You probably have 10, 15,000. You'd be able to get the rest of the map open, be able to get a couple more box hits, turn on Jug, get it, and then be able to open up Pack Punch all the way before the Panzer actually spawns in on round 8. You were absolutely set up if you had the Scorpion. So this has been my top 5 favorite weapons in Call of Duty Zombies history. Tell me in the comments section down below, what are your guys' 5 favorite guns, and only include one wonder weapon, because if we allowed you to do 5, then obviously it would just be full with them. I tried to limit it to 1, and I really only use a Scavenger because I like the damn thing so much. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys showing up. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you guys are new around here, and turn on notifications if you're my daddy. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.